the whispers of Black Hollow. In the heart of a dense, fog-laden forest, there lay a village called Black Hollow. The villagers spoke in hushed tones about a wicked witch named Morwenna, who was said to dwell in a crumbling stone tower that spiraled into the sky. Every Halloween, as the veil between worlds thinned, tales of Morwenna would seep from the shadows, chilling the bones of those who dared to linger past dusk. It was said that Morwenna had once been a kind-hearted healer, revered for her remedies and potions. However, when the villagers turned against her, accusing her of dark magic after a series of unfortunate events plagued Black Hollow, failed crops, mysterious illnesses, and livestock gone astray, she vanished into the forest. Over the years, the villagers had forgotten her kindness and only recalled the tales of her malevolence. On an fateful Halloween night, 3 brave friends, Eliza, Jonah, and Max, gathered by a flickering bonfire just outside the village. As they carved pumpkins and traded ghost stories, the shadowy silhouette of the tower loomed in the distance, surrounded by trees that twisted like the fingers of a gnarled hand. The air grew thick with anticipation as a mist began to rise from the ground. "Let's go," Eliza said, a wild glint in her eye. "Let's find out if she really is wicked." Jonah hesitated, his instincts warning him against the venture. "Are you sure? What if the stories are true? You can stay here with the pumpkins, scaredy cat," Max teased, throwing an arm around Jonah's shoulder. "We'll sneak into the tower and come back with something to prove she's just a story." With the spirit of adventure surging through them, the trio set off toward the tower. The moon cast an eerie glow over the forest, illuminating their path, but the shadows danced around them as the night deepened. Each step brought them closer to the heart of the witch's domain, and with it, the bone-chilling whispers of ancient incantations. They reached the base of the tower, its stones slick with moss and age. The door creaked open as if welcoming them into its embrace. Inside, the air felt charged with energy, a blend of herbs, flowers, and something darker, something that made their skin prickle. "Look!" Max shouted, pointing to the walls adorned with shelves lined with jars of colorful liquids and peculiar artifacts. The flickering candles cast long shadows, their flames swaying like restless souls. But it wasn't long before a cold wind swept through the room, extinguishing the candles and plunging them into darkness. Panic surged as they fumbled to find a way out, but just then, a voice echoed from the shadows. "Why have you come to my sanctuary, little trespassers?" A figure emerged. Cloaked in black and radiant with an otherworldly glow, Morwenna stood before them, her long hair flowing like smoke. Her eyes shimmered like stars, but her gaze held a weight that chilled them to the core. We wanted to see if you were real," Eliza stammered, clutching the pendant around her neck as if it would protect her from the witch's gaze. "And what do you expect to find? Do you think I am merely a tale spun by frightened tongues?" Morwenna stepped closer, her air thick with a mix of warmth and cold. "We wanted to know if you were truly wicked," Jonah managed to say, his voice cracking. Morwenna smiled, but it didn't reach her eyes. "Wickedness comes from fear and misunderstanding. Perhaps you wish to hear the truth?" As she spoke, the very air around them shimmered, and the room transformed before their eyes. They saw glimpses of a past where Morwenna healed the sick, tending to the villagers with love and compassion, but as whispers of evil grew louder, they saw her retreat into the shadows, the village turning against the one who had once cared for them. When the vision faded, the trio was left breathless, their hearts heavy with newfound empathy. They understood now, Morwenna was not the villain, but a victim of fear. "I do not desire your pity," she said softly, her voice now laden with sorrow. "But perhaps you, the young, may carry my story forward. Tell them the truth, that kindness is often misunderstood in darkness." The children nodded, tears prickling their eyes. They could see how loneliness had transformed Morwenna into the very thing they feared. "Please, I want to help," Eliza said, her voice scarcely above a whisper. "We can bring the village to you, so they can see the truth." Morwenna looked at them, her heart softened by their bravery. "Very well. But remember, it takes courage to dispel fear. Return with only your hearts as your guide." As they made their way back through the forest, the mist parted, revealing a clearer path. Under the light of a new dawn, Eliza, Jonah, and Max knew they held the power to change the narrative woven through generations. They would speak up, share their truth, and perhaps, in time, heal the rift created by fear and lies. On that Halloween night, the name Morwenna changed from a tale of wickedness to one of redemption, a story of love, healing, and the courage to confront the unknown. And as the villagers began to listen, the shadows of Black Hollow faded, making way for a brighter future, one where no one would ever be lost to fear again. Hit the subscribe button if you liked my story.